The Sirens, Scylla, and Charybdis, Book 12 of the Odyssey by Jessica Patnaik and Lucy Liu. The topics we're going to cover are the summary of the story, the comprehension questions, connections to the epic as a whole, relativity to the unit question, and a multimedia connection. When Odysseus and his men return to Circe's island, Circe tells Odysseus about the imminent dangers on the journey back home, which is shown in the bottom right. Circe tells Odysseus about the sirens, who are creatures that lure sailors with their beautiful voices. Next, Circe tells him about Scylla, a creature with 6 heads and 12 legs that will eat anyone or anything in her path with her sharp fangs. Charybdis is just as dangerous and will create a whirlpool that brings people down into the water. The men cannot also be lured by Helios' cattle to stop their hunger, or else he will take revenge on them. Despite all these important warnings, Odysseus keeps them to himself and doesn't warn his crew about them. As a result, the crew panics and there are many casualties. In the end, Odysseus becomes the only survivor after Zeus sends a thunderbolt to destroy his ship in order to appease Helios with his stolen cattle.
Here are the answers to some questions. Question 1. What are sirens? Sirens are half-bird and half-woman creatures that lure sailors to their destruction by singing songs. Question 2. What is Charybdis? Charybdis is a sea monster who lives under a small rock and is often characterized as a whirlpool. She is pictured here. Question 3. Who alone, according to Circe, must hear the siren's song? According to Circe, Odysseus must hear the siren's song only if he is tied to the mast of his boat. Question 4. What kept Odysseus' sailors from being lured to the sirens? Odysseus' sailors plugged in their ears with beeswax. Question 5. To whose island do they travel? Odysseus and his sailors traveled to Thrinacia, the island of the sun god Helios. In the Odyssey, Odysseus shows the danger of hubris. Hubris is one of the common tragic flaws found in epics, and it means excessive overconfidence and pride that leads to destruction. In Book 12, Odysseus ignores the foreshadowing of events and does not tell his crew what is going to happen on the journey back. He was the only one Circe talked to and felt pride over that, so he only told his men small bits of what he was warned. As a result, his men feasted on the cattle even though Odysseus told them not to. If only Odysseus had told them that it was Helios' sacred cattle, then maybe they would have listened. Odysseus' arrogance is similar to Poseidon, the god of the sea, who is viewed as a god with temper issues. He is pictured on the slide. Odysseus and his crew also show perseverance while facing monsters, which is one of the main themes in the Odyssey. Circe is one of the all-knowing or wise person who helps Odysseus. Usually in the Odyssey, it is Athena, but in this book, it is Circe. Zeus, one of the gods discussed in our introduction to the Odyssey, plays an active role in the story as the person who took action after Odysseus' men feasted on the sacred cattle of Helios. Odysseus is clearly portrayed as an epic hero. He pursues his goal in the face of many setbacks. In this book, one of the major setbacks was when Zeus struck Odysseus' ship, killing off everyone but Odysseus. Odysseus, being the only one who survived Zeus' attack, drifted off to Calypso's island. This unit in English revolves around the question, what's more important, the journey or the destination? The journey is more important because whether one is working individually or with others, experience will be gained. With this experience, lessons can be learned as well. If someone only looked at results and maybe made a mistake on the way to achieve those results, they might make the same mistakes over and over again. Also, if someone were to only look at the destination or to expect to achieve a result, then what will happen is not always the same as their expectations.
The U.S. Department of Justice used powerful technology to find criminals by searching through their data on devices. Last year, however, the DOJ misused their power and searched through millions of innocent Americans' phones without their consent. The Americans had a right to know of this. The secrecy itself backfired and everything became a huge mess. This connects to the Book 12 of the Odyssey because Odysseus didn't tell his crew about the monsters that were yet to come on their journey back. Because of Odysseus' secrecy, everything backfired for him as well.